Welcome to another edition of Inside Town Hall. I'm Jim Cameron, your host, program director here at Darien TV 79. If you want to get involved in town government, you have an extraordinary chance. This will all be explained by Krista McNamara, who is the town clerk. She's joining us again today on the program. Welcome, Krista.
Oh, thank you very much, Jim. It's a pleasure to be here.
So we're coming up to the November elections, and
Yes.
in addition to all of the other races, presidential, congressional, etc., Darien residents are going to get a chance to elect members of the RTM, the Representative Town Meeting.
Mhm.
And we're going to talk about how to get on the ballot if you're interested in being one of those representatives. First of all, let's start with a real basic question. And by the way, full disclosure, I have been a member of the RTM for over 20 years, so I know many of the answers to these questions, but we want to hear it from Krista. Let's start with something basic, Krista, which is, what is the Representative Town Meeting?
Okay, first, so the Representative Town Meeting is Darien's legislative body. It is Darien's Congress. There are 100 members as set forth in the town code. And similar to the U.S. House of Representatives, those 100 members proportionately represent the 6 voting districts of electors here in town.
And there are open ballot positions for some of those positions this fall?
Well, I want to rephrase that in the case that every RTM member, you serve a 2-year term. And there are members, and it's a rotating. So every year, about half, roughly half of the RTM is up for re-election or election. So every year, about 50 seats are available across the 6 districts.
And there are empty slots to be filled in some of those districts that do not have candidates yet?
That's correct. So there is a process by which if an incumbent wants to return to the ballot, they need to notify me. Again, this is all set forth in the town code. If they choose not to return, then we have an open seat, as you referred to before. So the deadline has passed for the incumbents to notify me of their intent to return. At this point, we have open seats, and we'll say open, meaning the incumbent is not returning, in all 6 districts. So a great time and opportunity for Darien residents to get involved and learn more about the town.
So what's involved with being a member of the RTM? Are there a lot of meetings? Do they have work to do? I mean, if I wanted to get on the RTM, what am I getting myself into?
Sure, an important question. So the RTM meets, the full RTM of 100 people meet once a month from September to June on Mondays. Now I'm looking at 7:30 p.m. on Monday night. On top of that, the RTM has subcommittees. Again, similar to what we see in Congress in Washington, there are subcommittees. You could serve on education, finance and budget, public health and safety, among one of the many committees that people can serve on. And those committees will meet throughout the year, depending upon the cadence and work that's needed to be done.
So there is some commitment of time, not only to go to the full RTM meetings, but to do work in the committees themselves.
Correct.
And if I'm really interested in, let's say, education, am I sure to get a seat on the education committee, or might I have to serve someplace else?
The decision on which the committee a person is placed is at the discretion of the Rules Committee. The Rules Committee is the governing body of the RTM. There are 2 representatives from each 6 districts. They look at your resume, your interests, and you'll be placed on a committee. Like you, I served on the RTM from 2007 to 2013. I had a background in education, so I served on the education committee in my time there. So they really try to match people's interests, abilities, and committees.
So if I'm interested in being on the RTM, how do I get on the ballot?
Okay, perfect. Good question. There are 3 ways in which to get on the ballot. The first, of course, is as an incumbent, you would notify me in writing of your interest. That's the first way. If you're new to the RTM, which I'm hoping this program reaches some electors out there, One, you need to be a Darien resident. Two, you need to be an elector, 18 years or older, registered to vote. The process is by petition. You take a petition, you circulate it amongst your neighbors in your district. You must collect 25 signatures and submit that petition to me by September 10th. And it's always advisable to get more than 25 signatures in case one of your signers is not in your district or is not a registered voter. So that's that's the second step.
And the third option?
The third option is the deadline after September 10th. If you aren't able to get your signatures or you make a decision after September 10th, the third decision is called a write-in candidate. And that's a little bit different in that, one, you don't need to circulate a petition. You need to fill out a form which indicates you're interested in being a write-in candidate. The form is online. I have the form in my office. You fill it out and say, yes, I would like to be a write-in candidate. Two, then you need to have voters write your name on the ballot in order for that vote to be counted. So your name isn't on the ballot, but it can be written into the ballot. And in my time as town clerk since 2021, I've seen a number of successful candidates get onto the RTM that way. So it's a feasible and viable way that people have used.
So if you want to collect petition signatures
Mhm.
before September 10th to
Mhm.
submit to your office, they have to be from residents of your district,
Correct.
and you have to be a resident of the district or an elector. Do you have to be a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
So you have to be a U.S. citizen as well, too. Okay. How do people get more information if they're interested in, doing the petitioning or become a write-in candidate? Who should they contact?
They should contact the town clerk, me here at Town Hall, 656-7307, or on the town clerk's website under top banner, how do I, far left, join the RTM. It all is listed there. I should also mention there's yet another option. The election comes and goes. There are still openings in the district. At that point, the members of that district have the ability to vote in a new member. That's called a caucus. So the decision is not made by the general public. It is made by just the members of that district, one of the 6 districts. So there are still openings at that point.
So you have served on the RTM, as you mentioned, for 6 years.
Mhm.
Did you find the work rewarding? Is it the sort of thing that you get frustrated by if you're on an RTM committee? Can you recommend the job to our viewers?
Highly recommend the job. I highly recommend the job. I thought it was an amazing opportunity for anyone in this town to learn what's happening on so many different aspects. Education, public works, flooding, you vote on the budget. So if you're a taxpayer, you have a say in the process. So for that reason alone, I think it's a very worthwhile opportunity. And you work with an amazing group of people. You'll meet 99 people you may never have come across before in town. So for a lot of different reasons, I recommend it.
Well, there's the endorsement you've all been waiting for. If you're interested in becoming a member of the RTM, stay tuned. In about 30 seconds, we'll put some information up on the screen. Phone number of the town clerk's office, information about the website, and of course, you can always go into town hall and
Absolutely.
visit the town clerk's office to get more information as well, too, right?
Yes, that's correct. Absolutely. We're here Monday through Thursday from 8 to 5:15 p.m.
And again, the deadline for petitions is what?
Is Tuesday, September 10th by 5:15 p.m.
Excellent. Krista, thank you very much for being with us. Krista McNamara, the town clerk. You will see her at all the RTM meetings, and you might see her in person if you want to get more information and go down to town hall. Thank you very much for being with us. I appreciate it.
Great. Thank you, Jim.
And thank you for watching another quick edition of Inside Town Hall.